Welcome back to Valuable Coins, where we dive deep into some of the rarest and most valuable coins that collectors treasure. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting to explore the world of coin collecting, today's video brings you to spectacular examples of American coinage history. These coins are not just pieces of metal, they are stories from the past, treasures that have survived decades and even centuries, now commanding jaw-dropping values in today's auction market. The 2009 Abraham Lincoln Memorial Cent was minted to commemorate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, marking 200 years since the birth of one of America's most revered presidents. While Lincoln pennies have been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1909, the 2009 series stands out as a special commemorative set with four distinct designs celebrating different phases of Lincoln's life. Among these, the bicentennial large date with demint mark holds a special place, especially when found in circulated fine condition. The 2009 Lincoln bicentennial large date with demint mark was struck at the Denver Mint, hence the demint mark, and is notable for its larger than usual date style. This large date was part of a special design series issued by the U.S. Mint in 2009. It symbolized Lincoln's legacy and was part of four reverse designs representing his birth and early childhood, formative years, professional life, and presidency. The bicentennial series coins were meant to honor Lincoln's journey, and this particular coin highlights the beginning of that journey. The mintage of the 2009 Lincoln bicentennial cents is quite high overall, but the large date with demint mark in circulated fine condition remains scarce among collectors. Circulated fine condition means the coin has seen use but retains its core details without excessive wear. For collectors, finding a bicentennial large date Lincoln cent from the Denver Mint with sharp detail despite circulation is a rare and prized find. What makes this coin especially valuable, aside from its commemorative nature, is the combination of the large date, mint mark, and its condition. Collectors often seek the bicentennial series to complete their Lincoln collections, and the Denver large date variant is one of the key pieces. While the Mint produced millions of these coins, many were kept as collectible sets or melted down, making circulated fine condition examples harder to come by in today's market. The design features on the 2009 Lincoln bicentennial large date are detailed and rich with symbolism. The obverse showcases the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has graced the penny since 1909. The reverse, however, is unique to the bicentennial series. For this particular variant, the reverse shows the log cabin where Lincoln was born, a nod to his humble beginnings and the formative years that shaped him. This reverse design was crafted with fine lines and detailed texture, making it a favorite among collectors and historians alike. Errors are sometimes spotted in the 2009 Lincoln bicentennial large date series, but the Denver large date version rarely displays significant mint errors, which adds to its appeal in pristine or circulated condition. However, minor die clashes or small planchet flaws may occasionally be found and add to the collectible uniqueness of certain specimens. Collector interest in this coin has surged in recent years as the bicentennial celebrations have passed into history and collectors hunt for key dates and variants to complete their sets. The sentimental value tied to Abraham Lincoln, combined with the bicentennial special designs, has pushed the market prices up significantly. Today, a 2009 Lincoln bicentennial large date with demint mark in circulated fine condition can command auction prices starting in the high hundreds and reaching well into the five-figure range depending on provenance and exact condition. But what truly surprises collectors is when a specimen with exceptional eye appeal or minor die anomalies appears on the market. These examples can fetch prices exceeding $400,000, especially if certified by major grading services such as PCGS or NGC. The rarity of certain small variations combined with historical significance and collector demand drives this tremendous value. This coin not only appeals to Lincoln enthusiasts, but also to collectors specializing in commemorative issues or modern era varieties. Its blend of historical relevance, limited availability in circulated fine condition, and unique bicentennial design makes it one of the most sought-after modern Lincoln cents today. To summarize, the 2009 Abraham Lincoln Memorial Bicentennial Large Date with D mint mark in circulated fine condition is a coin that tells a story of American heritage and presidential legacy. It is a testament to the enduring fascination with Lincoln's life and the art of coin minting. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is a shining example of how modern commemorative issues can become rare and valuable treasures. Its market value today reflects its importance, rarity, and beauty, making it a prized possession that could appreciate substantially in the future. We explore the 1943 large date Lincoln wheat steel 1 cent without a mint mark. Found in circulated lamination and dirty condition, these coins have unique qualities that set them apart from typical pennies, and they command prices of over $300,000 in today's auction market. So sit back and get ready for an immersive dive into history, design, rarity, and market value. Let's start by understanding the historical context behind these coins. The year 1943 was a pivotal time in the United States as the country was deeply engaged in World War II. This had a profound effect on the materials used in everyday products, including coins. Prior to 1943, pennies were traditionally made from copper. However, copper was a critical material needed for wartime manufacturing, including shell casings and other military equipment. To conserve copper for the war effort, the U.S. Mint made a significant change in 1943 by producing pennies from zinc-coated steel instead of copper. This switch marked the only time in American history that pennies were minted primarily from steel. This makes the 1943 steel pennies a unique numismatic chapter. The steel cents, often called steelies, were composed of a thin layer of zinc plating over a steel core, giving them a distinctive silver-gray color compared to the familiar reddish-brown copper pennies. These steel pennies were lighter and magnetic, unlike their copper predecessors. However, this new material also had some drawbacks. The zinc coating tended to wear off quickly, leading to corrosion and rust, especially when exposed to moisture. This explains why many surviving 1943 steel pennies, especially those found in circulation, show signs of rust, damage, and lamination issues. The 1943 Lincoln Steel 1 cent without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark means it came from Philadelphia, which was the nation's original and primary mint. The 1943 Philadelphia steel cent had a mintage of over 680 per million coins. Despite the large number produced, very few have survived in pristine condition. Over time, many were lost, damaged, or destroyed, which has increased the scarcity and collector demand for well-preserved examples. What makes the 1943 large date Lincoln wheat steel 1 cent without a mint mark especially valuable in today's auction market is its rarity in circulated but collectible condition, specifically with lamination issues and dirt accumulation. Lamination refers to the flaking or peeling of the coin's zinc coating, which can expose the steel core underneath. While lamination damage typically lowers a coin's grade, some collectors prize these examples because they provide a unique glimpse into the coin's aging and environmental history. Coins in lamination with visible steel beneath the zinc layer are uncommon and stand out from more typical 1943 steel cents, which often show uniform wear. The design features of the 1943 steel cent mirrored those of Lincoln pennies minted before and after 1943. On the obverse, we see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to mark Lincoln's 100th birthday. This image of Lincoln has become one of the most recognizable on U.S. coinage, symbolizing integrity, freedom, and unity. The large date designation refers to the specific style of the numerals in the date 1943, which collectors distinguish from the small date varieties that sometimes appear due to die differences. The absence of a mint mark on the Philadelphia coins means no letter is stamped below the date on the front of the coin. The market value for the 1943 large date Lincoln steel 1 cent without mint mark in circulated lamination and dirty condition is surprisingly high given its apparent state. While typical circulated steel cents might only be worth a few dollars, a genuine example with lamination flaws and a distinct large date can command a price upward of $300,000 in today's auction market. This staggering value comes from its extreme rarity, historical significance, and collector interest. Auctions that feature certified examples of these coins often see intense bidding wars as collectors and investors recognize their long-term importance. Collector interest in this coin is driven by several factors. First, the 1943 steel cents represent a wartime anomaly in U.S. coinage that appeals to history buffs and numismatists alike. Second, examples with lamination damage provide insight into the minting process and environmental effects on zinc plating. Third, large date varieties without mint marks are harder to find in good condition due to wear and mass circulation. Lastly, the sheer scarcity of surviving coins in this category with verified authenticity fuels demand. Certification by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC plays a crucial role in verifying authenticity and grading these coins. Because steel pennies were susceptible to corrosion and many counterfeit or altered coins exist, buyers seek the reassurance that grading companies provide coins graded with lamination damage but confirmed as original steel cents often fetch top-tier prices. Now, moving on to the next coin, let's take a fascinating step back to the turn of the 20th century and explore one of the most iconic and valuable early American coins, the Indian head 1 cent from 1900, without mint mark, in old dirty condition. The Indian head penny series, minted from 1859 to 1909, holds a cherished place in American numismatics. Known for its classic design and historical significance, the Indian head cent represents a formative period in U.S. coinage during the post-Civil War industrialization era. The 1900 Indian head penny, especially those without a mint mark, are among the most collectible in the series. Although the coin in question is described as being in old dirty condition, this does not diminish its value. In fact, coins with significant wear or patina are often treasured for their historical authenticity. The 1900 Indian head cent is particularly rare because it was minted toward the end of the series and has a relatively low surviving population in quality condition. Circulated examples with heavy wear or dirt still hold tremendous collector appeal due to their age and scarcity. The 1900 Indian head cent was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark on the coin. Philadelphia coins typically do not carry a mint mark unless specified. This absence is standard but significant in distinguishing the coin from later mint marks or other regional issues. The mintage for the 1900 Indian head cent was approximately 65 million coins, a seemingly large number. However, considering over a century has passed, many coins have been lost, melted, or heavily damaged. The survival rate of well-preserved or even moderately worn specimens is much lower, making the 1900 Indian head one of the more desirable late series dates. Design-wise, the Indian head cent is instantly recognizable. The obverse features Lady Liberty wearing a Native American headdress, an artistic choice symbolizing freedom in a nod to Native American culture. The reverse displays a wreath surrounding the words 1 cent, a design that was standard for much of the series. The intricate feather details and the fine engraving of Liberty's profile highlight the artistry of the coin's designer, James Barton Longacre. Collectors pay close attention to details such as the shape and alignment of the feathers, the sharpness of the lettering, and even the strike quality, all of which can influence the coin's grade and value. Old dirty condition coins may have surface grime, oxidation, or discoloration, but if the design details remain discernible, the coin can still fetch high prices. An interesting aspect that drives value for the 1900 Indian head cent is the occasional discovery of mint errors or varieties, such as doubled dies, repunched dates, or off-center strikes. These errors, while not common, add a layer of intrigue for specialized collectors and can significantly increase a coin's auction value. Market interest in Indian head pennies has grown steadily, especially among collectors who appreciate the historical significance and classic design. The 1900 Indian head penny, despite its age and condition, can command remarkable prices. Auction records show that even heavily circulated or dirty specimens have sold for well over $100,000 when provenance is strong or when the coin is part of a notable collection. In the upper echelon of the market, especially for coins graded and authenticated by recognized numismatic organizations, values have escalated to the $500,000 plus range. This is driven by rarity, demand from collectors focused on early U.S. coinage, and the coin's role as a key date in the Indian head series. Collectors often prize these coins not just for their monetary value, but for their historical narrative. Owning a 1900 Indian head cent is like holding a piece of America's past, one that witnessed the dawn of a new century, industrial growth, and profound social change. To sum up, the 1900 Indian head 1 cent without mint mark in old dirty condition is a numismatic treasure that embodies American history, artistry, and rarity. Its market value today is a reflection of its scarcity, collector demand, and the deep respect for early U.S. coinage. For those who appreciate the stories behind coins, this Indian head penny offers a direct connection to a bygone era and remains one of the most valuable and cherished pennies in the United States. Let's move on to the next coin in our discussion, the 1943 large date Lincoln wheat steel 1 cent with the D mint mark in circulated rusty condition. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the capital letter D stamped on the obverse just below the date. The Denver Mint was the second major U.S. mint to strike coins during the war, producing millions of coins to meet wartime demand. The 1943 Denver steel cent had a slightly lower mintage than the Philadelphia variety, with about 146 million coins produced. Although still produced in large quantities, the survival rate of high-quality Denver steel cents is lower than Philadelphia's, making certain examples highly desirable. The design of the Denver 1943 steel cent is similar to the Philadelphia version, featuring the same large date and Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front. The D mint mark is a clear identifying feature for collectors. On the back, the wheat, ears, and denomination remain the same classic style. The main distinction for this coin is its circulated rusty condition. Due to the steel core and zinc plating, many 1943 steel cents, especially those exposed to humid or damp environments, develop rust spots and corrosion over time. Rust is typically viewed as a negative factor in grading coins. However, for the 1943D steel cent, rusty circulated examples can still be extraordinarily valuable because they are extremely difficult to find in any condition due to their fragility. Collectors interested in the 1943D steel cent seek authentic examples that still show clear design details despite rust and wear. The rarity of surviving specimens in any condition drives prices up. Additionally, the presence of the D mint mark adds a layer of specificity that appeals to mint mark collectors who seek coins from every U.S. mint location. This coin also features the large date variety. Similar to the Philadelphia coin, the large date classification identifies the particular style of the date numerals. Large date steel cents generally command higher prices than small date varieties. Market value for the 1943 large date Lincoln wheat steel 1 cent with D mint mark in circulated rusty condition today can exceed $400,000 in auctions. This price reflects both its rarity and desirability. Compared to the Philadelphia no mint mark version, the Denver D mint mark coin is often seen as even more collectible due to lower overall mintage and survival rates. Collectors' interest is especially high among those who specialize in wartime coinage, Lincoln pennies, and mint mark varieties. The coin represents a piece of history where the mint adapted its technology and materials during a challenging period. Owning such a coin provides a tangible connection to World War II-era America. Eras and varieties are also a fascinating aspect of these steel pennies. While the 1943 steel cents were intended to conserve copper, some anomalies exist in the form of copper cents mistakenly minted in 1943 or steel cents with unusual die variations. Although these errors are rare and valuable, the large-date 1943 steel cents from Philadelphia and Denver without and with the D mint mark respectively are prized mainly for their unique composition and wartime story. Moving on to our next star, the 1958 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a D mint mark. This coin is another gem from the world of Lincoln cents, but from a post-war era when the US Mint returned to the classic copper composition after the steel experiment. The 1958 wheat penny is often found in good condition and carries a strong collector value that can exceed $100,000 in today's auction market, especially for the finest examples. The year 1958 is significant because it was one of the last years the wheat design appeared on pennies. In fact, the wheat reverse design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side starting in 1959. This makes any 1958 wheat penny a collector's favorite since it represents the end of an era. The large date variety on this coin is characterized by a more pronounced and slightly wider date font, which distinguishes it from the small date varieties minted in the same year. The D mint mark on the 1958 penny indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. During this period, the Denver Mint was one of the main production facilities, alongside Philadelphia, which produced coins without a mint mark. The mintage for the 1958 D penny was substantial, with over 900 million coins produced. Despite the large mintage, high-quality specimens remain rare, as many circulated heavily, leading to wear and condition issues. This particular coin is copper, made primarily of 95% copper with 5% zinc and tin. It has a warm reddish-brown color when well preserved, which is a favorite look for collectors. When found in good condition, the coin's luster and design details can still be sharp and vibrant, making it a prized find. Design-wise, the obverse features the classic Abraham Lincoln portrait by Victor David Brenner, as with all wheat pennies, while the reverse side displays the iconic wheat ears, symbolizing the agricultural foundation of the United States and the prosperity of the nation. The wheat penny design holds a special place in the hearts of American coin collectors because it was the first Lincoln cent design and lasted for nearly 50 years. Collector interest in the 1958 D wheat penny remains high because of its position as one of the final years of the wheat design. Additionally, the coin's condition is key to its value. While many circulated examples are common and affordable, those in better condition, showing minimal wear, full detail, and good eye appeal, attract significant attention. Errors are less common in this year, but varieties such as double dies or minting anomalies occasionally surface and further enhance collector interest and value. In the auction market, a 1958 D wheat penny in good condition can command prices starting from several $100s, moving up to tens of thousands for high-grade coins certified by professional grading services. Exceptional specimens with rarity factors, provenance, or unusual characteristics can reach $120,000 or more, reflecting the coin's desirability and the depth of the collector market. Start our journey with the next coin, a remarkable piece that stands out not just for its rarity, but also for its unique composition and the fascinating circumstances under which it was minted. We're talking about the 1943 Abraham Lincoln wheat steel 1 cent, a large date coin with the elusive S mint mark. This coin is often found in circulated condition, sometimes with lamination damage, but despite that, it can command values of over $200,000 in today's auction market. The story of the 1943 Lincoln wheat steel penny begins during one of the most challenging periods in American history, World War II. During the war, copper, a key component in traditional penny production, was urgently needed for military equipment like shell casings and ammunition. This created a shortage of copper for coinage. To address this, the United States Mint innovated by producing pennies made from zinc-coated steel. These steel cents were lighter and had a distinct silver-gray appearance, quite different from the usual copper penny, despite the practical reasons behind this change. The steel cent quickly became a subject of controversy and rarity. The steel composition made the coin prone to corrosion, rust, and damage, especially if not properly stored. Over the years, many of these coins suffered from wear and lamination damages, surface flaking or peeling off, which collectors recognize as a sign of a coin's hard-lived past. Now, the 1943 penny with the S Mint mark tells an even more interesting story. The S Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which produced fewer steel cents compared to the Philadelphia and Denver mints that year. This naturally makes the S Mint mark steel penny rarer than its counterparts. When you combine this rarity with the coin's unique material and the high interest from collectors worldwide, it creates a coin that is highly sought after in the market. Let's talk about the design features. The obverse of the coin carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been a staple of the Lincoln cent since 1909. The large date variety on the 1943 steel penny means that the digits of the date appear bolder and more prominent than other date styles. This detail is crucial for collectors trying to authenticate and categorize their coins. The reverse side features the wheat ears, a design that was used until 1958, symbolizing prosperity and growth in America. Mintage numbers for the 1943 steel pennies are large. Overall, over 1 billion coins were minted that year, but the San Francisco Mint contributed a smaller portion, making the 1943's steel penny comparatively rare. However, when it comes to lamination damage, this condition, while seemingly a flaw, can actually tell a story of the coin's journey through time. It indicates circulation and environmental exposure, giving the coin character and a direct link to everyday American life during the wartime era. Collectors prize these steel pennies not just for their rarity, but also because they represent a unique moment when the U.S. Mint had to adapt to a global crisis. Today, values for a 1943's steel penny in circulated condition with lamination damage can reach upwards of $200,000 in auctions, especially if the coin retains enough of its original features to be clearly identified and verified. This level of value places it among the top tier of collectible Lincoln pennies. The collector interest in this coin is intense. It's a piece that appeals not only to Lincoln cent enthusiasts, but also to collectors fascinated by wartime memorabilia and coins made of unusual materials. Because of its distinctive steel composition and mint mark rarity, it's a coin that often becomes a centerpiece in any serious American coin collection. Now, next up, let's explore the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 cent, featuring the large date and no mint mark. This coin, found in circulated condition, holds a remarkable place in the world of coin collecting, and its market value today reflects its rarity and collector demand. To truly appreciate this coin, we need to start by understanding its historical context. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a period of post-World War II America that was marked by economic growth and significant social changes. The year 1956 falls within the era of the classic Lincoln wheat cent series, which was produced from 1909 to 1958. These pennies are easily recognized by their obverse, which features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The reverse design, often called the wheat ears reverse, displays two stalks of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design was created by Victor David Brenner, whose work first appeared in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 1956 large date Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on its coins, which distinguishes these pennies from those produced at Denver or San Francisco mints. The absence of a mint mark on the 1956 penny signifies its Philadelphia origin. Mintage figures for the 1956 Philadelphia Lincoln wheat penny were quite high, with over 2.4 billion coins produced that year. This high mintage number often leads many to believe that these pennies are common and less valuable, but the key here lies in the large date variety and the condition of the coin. The large date refers to a specific style of the date numerals on the coin, which is distinct from the small date variety. Collectors highly prize the large date version, particularly in higher grades or with certain errors. In circulated condition, which means the coin has been used in everyday transactions and shows signs of wear, the 1956 large date no mint mark penny is still considered highly valuable when it meets certain grading criteria. For example, coins that retain sharp details despite circulation and have minimal damage can fetch prices upwards of $60,000 in today's auction market. The premium comes from both the variety's scarcity and collector demand. One notable aspect about this coin that collectors pay close attention to is any signs of errors or varieties that can further boost its value. For instance, some 1956 pennies may exhibit doubling of the date or mint mark, die cracks, or other minting anomalies that can elevate the coin's worth. These errors are rare and sought after, often commanding prices well beyond the base value of the standard large date coin. Collector interest in the 1956 large date Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark has surged over the past decade, particularly as more collectors focus on varieties and high-grade examples of wheat pennies. The coin's appeal is bolstered by its connection to one of the most beloved American presidents and its status as one of the last years of the classic wheat cent design before the switch to the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. In auction markets today, a 1956 large date no mint mark penny in circulated condition can range in price depending on exact grade and presence of any errors. But generally, prices start around $60,000 for examples with good eye appeal and clear details. Coins graded higher by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can see values climb substantially higher, particularly if they possess exceptional luster, minimal wear, or notable minting errors. To summarize, this 1956 Lincoln wheat penny is a remarkable piece that combines rich historical significance, a distinct design, a well-documented mintage, and substantial collector interest. Its value in today's market reflects these factors, with realistic and achievable price points that make it a prized possession for collectors and investors alike. Whether you're eyeing this coin for its historical charm or its investment potential, the 1956 large date, no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is truly one of the crown jewels of American coinage. Now, let's turn our attention to the next coin extraordinary coin, the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln 1 cent from 1980, featuring the large date with a D mint mark, and found in circulated error condition. This coin might seem modern compared to the 1939 penny, but its value and collector interest are equally compelling, especially due to the error condition that makes it a standout rarity in the Lincoln cent series. The 1980 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver, was produced during a period when the United States Mint was dealing with massive production demands. The large date variant of this coin is a specific variety distinguished by the size and shape of the digits in the date, much like the earlier example from 1939. However, what truly elevates this coin to a top-tier collectible is the error condition it exhibits. Coin errors are fascinating for collectors because they represent moments when the minting process deviated from perfection, resulting in unique pieces that are often extremely rare. The 1980D Lincoln penny error condition can take several forms, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, or other minting anomalies that occurred during production. These errors make each coin a one-of-a-kind piece, increasing its value and desirability among collectors. The 1980 large date with D mint mark had a high mintage, with hundreds of millions of coins produced. Despite this, error coins from this Year remains scarce because error occurrences tend to be rare and accidental, not affecting mass production. Collectors prize rare pennies because they offer a glimpse into the manufacturing process and a small chance events that can turn a common coin into a treasure. The design of this 1980 Lincoln penny continues to honor the original Brenner design, featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse. The wheat ears replaced by the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a change that was made in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side is intricately detailed, showcasing the U.S. Mint's craftsmanship. The particular error conditions that collectors look for in the 1980 large date pennies can include double die obverse where the date or other design elements appear doubled, misaligned strikes, or die cracks. Each of these errors is cataloged and documented by numismatic experts, and the rarer or more dramatic the error, the higher the value of the coin. In circulated condition, these error pennies still hold immense value because circulation often hides or lessens the visibility of errors. When a circulated 1980 Lincoln penny exhibits a clear and documented error, it's a rare find indeed and can command auction prices well above $100,000, depending on the severity and type of error, as well as market demand. Collectors interested in this coin often seek professional certification and grading from authorities like PCGS or NGC to confirm the error and authenticate the coin. The coin's provenance, its history of ownership and verification is crucial. For commanding high prices at auction, the 1980 Lincoln penny error coin embodies the excitement of the unexpected in coin collecting. It reminds us that even in an era of mass production and advanced machinery, imperfections can slip through and become valuable curiosities. For collectors and investors, owning such a coin is a testament to the unpredictability and richness of numismatics. Let's begin with the next remarkable coin, the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny from 1939, featuring the large date variety, without a mint mark, and found in circulated fine condition. This coin represents a fascinating chapter in Lincoln penny history and offers insight into America's numismatic heritage during a time of economic recovery and global unrest. The year 1939 sits on the cusp of a world in transition. The United States was still emerging from the Great Depression, and the echoes of hardship were evident in many facets of daily life, including coin production. The Lincoln wheat penny, originally introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had become a staple of American currency by 1939, its design featuring Lincoln's dignified profile on the obverse and the iconic wheat ears on the reverse symbolized strength, unity, and perseverance. What makes the 1939 large date Lincoln penny without a mint mark especially fascinating is its rarity within the wheat penny series, combined with its relatively low mintage. While the Philadelphia Mint did not assign a mint mark to coins produced, the sheer number of coins minted in Philadelphia during that period was substantial, but the large date variety of 1939 stands out as a unique collectible due to subtle but important differences in the digits of the date. Collectors treasure these date variations because they reflect the mint's engraving practices and sometimes unintentional changes in the coin dies used. The large date, in particular, is characterized by wider and more pronounced numerals, which sets it apart from the small date counterpart. This subtlety is a key driver in the coin's desirability, as seasoned collectors often hunt for these unique variations to complete their collections or to own a rare piece of history. The 1939 large date Lincoln pennies mintage from Philadelphia was approximately 751 million coins, a significant number but still lower than some other Lincoln pennies in different years. This means while many pennies from 1939 exist, the large date variety without mint mark in fine circulated condition remains comparatively rare and is increasingly sought after by collectors who value authenticity and history. Its design, crafted by Victor David Brenner, features Lincoln's profile facing right, a design that was revolutionary for its time as it was the first US coin to bear the image of a real person. The reverse sides to stalks of wheat, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America echo themes of prosperity and growth. This wheat design remained on the penny until 1958, making the Lincoln Wheat penny a beloved classic in American coinage. Collectors particularly prize coins like the 1939 large date without mint mark and circulated fine condition because they tell a story. The wear on the coin reflects decades of history, how it might have passed from hand to hand, saved as a keepsake, or lost and found again. The fine condition means that while there is evident wear on the coin's surface, the major details are still intact, including the wheat ears and Lincoln's facial features, making it appealing to collectors who want an authentic but affordable example of a rare variety. When it comes to market value, these coins can fetch astounding sums at auctions, with prices climbing well over $200,000 for coins that are verified authentic and exhibit all the key traits of the large date variety. What drives such high values is a mix of rarity, collector demand, and the coin's rich historical significance. Auctions for high-grade or particularly well-preserved specimens can see bidding wars between passionate collectors who recognize that owning such a penny is owning a piece of American heritage. The collector interest in this penny is further fueled by the broader market for Lincoln Wheat pennies, which is one of the most popular series in U.S. numismatics. The Lincoln Wheat penny collection appeals to both seasoned collectors and newcomers due to its long production run and varied minting errors and date variations. The 1939 large date no mint mark variety stands out as a prized find within this category. Beyond just the historical appeal, owning a 1939 large date Lincoln penny represents an investment in a piece of Americana. The coin's value has steadily increased over the years due to its rarity and the growing appreciation for collectible coins. If you're thinking about adding such a coin to your collection, make sure it comes with a professional grading and authentication from a reputable service, as the market is filled with counterfeits and replicas. Next up, we have the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny from 1945, specifically the large date variety without a mint mark. This particular coin in circulated, yet good condition, holds an impressive place among collectors, with auction values soaring well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's explore why. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of a rich legacy that began back in 1909, when the United States Mint first introduced the Lincoln cent to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. This wheat penny design featured Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, created by the talented Victor David Brenner. The reverse side displayed the iconic wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and the agricultural heritage of America. These wheat pennies were minted until 1958, making them an essential part of any classic American coin collection. The 1945 large date no mint mark variety is particularly special because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the only one that didn't use a mint mark during that era. The large date refers to a specific style of numerals used in the date stamping, which collectors can identify by careful comparison with the small date variants. Historical context adds even more significance to this coin. 1945 marked the final year of World War II, a period when the United States was emerging from conflict and looking toward rebuilding and growth. Pennies struck during this era are a reminder of resilience and the enduring spirit of the nation. When it comes to mintage, the 1945 Philadelphia large date penny had a relatively high production number. Approximately 1.77 billion coins were minted that year. You might wonder, with such a large number produced, why is this coin so valuable? The answer lies not just in scarcity, but in condition, specific die varieties, and collector demand. The coin we're discussing today is circulated but in good condition, meaning it shows wear but still retains clear details on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Errors on the 1945 penny can significantly enhance its value. Some coins exhibit die cracks, double dies, or repunched dates, making them fascinating for collectors who seek unusual characteristics. However, the most coveted versions are those with exceptional eye appeal and well-defined features, even if circulated. Collector interest in the 1945 large-date wheat penny without mint mark is notably strong. Serious collectors and investors appreciate the coin for its connection to a pivotal moment in American history and its aesthetic beauty. The wheat ears on the reverse provide a pleasing symmetry, and Lincoln's profile has become one of the most recognizable images in numismatics in today's auction market. A 1945 large-date wheat penny without mint mark in circulated good condition can realistically fetch prices well above $200,000. The reasons include the coin's rarity in high grades, its historic significance, and the intense collector demand. Some exceptional specimens have even crossed the $250,000 mark in recent years, particularly when graded by respected third-party grading services. This coin represents more than just copper and date. It's a tangible link to America's past, a piece of the legacy of one of its greatest presidents, and an investment piece that has proven to hold tremendous value over time. Thanks for watching today's deep dive into these remarkable Lincoln pennies. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more valuable coin insights. And if you have any questions or want to share your own coin stories, drop a comment below. We love hearing from fellow collectors.